it's Melissa. In this video, I am going to show you how to create a bleed line for VersaWorks. So this is often needed so that you don't get a white edge around your design. So if you have a multicolor design or if you have a design that has a solid edge, it's done differently. So we are going to first focus on a design that has an edge that's all the same color. In this case, it's going to be black. So the key to this is creating an offset and then making the internal offset the actual cut line. It's actually easiest to do this in Silhouette Studio, whether you have a Silhouette machine or not, and then export to Adobe. Adobe is a little bit more tricky when it comes to creating that contour cut line, but Silhouette Studio can't name the swatch color the way it needs to be for Roland, so we had to put the two together. So I'm going to show you how to do this from start to finish. Whether you have this is most often the issue with a PNG, but you can also do this with other file types as well. So we will start over here in Silhouette Studio, where we are first just going to open our file. So again, this is often the case when you have designs that are PNGs, which a lot of times full color designs are for, you know, t-shirt images or decals, stickers, different things like that. So let's just do File, Open, and I have this file here that I'm going to use. So this is the scene, it's a PNG. You can see the file only came with PNGs. Okay, so we're going to use File, Open, and open that file. Now, very important, this file actually came in as a PNG, and it already has the cut lines. The reason this one already has the cut lines is because down here in my settings, there's a little gear down here on the right hand side. Under import, I have this checked where it says PNG auto trace. If you do not have PNG auto trace checked, you will have your file come in, and when you try to create a cut line, it's going to put a box around. I'm going to show you that just so you can see. All right, so this one, as I said, has it. Let's bring in another one so you can just see the difference real quick. So if we do File, Open, and then we'll bring in this other one over here, okay? So what's gonna happen in this one is the image itself looks the same, except that if I go to add my cut line, which I need to do with this offset, what you're gonna see is it makes a box. So you see this box that it puts around it? So that's the offset because the cut line is not around. So what we want to make sure, you have that auto trace set in Silhouette Studio. So I'm going to close that out because we don't need it. So assuming that you have the auto trace set, now when your design comes into Silhouette Studio, you can't really see it right now unless I zoom pretty close in, but there's a little red line around your design. That's the default color for the cut line, okay? So we don't want to cut right on the edge, do we? Because we want to make a bleed, which means that we have to put some of this, since the edge here is black, we want to make a little edge black also, so that in case the Roland cuts off a little bit, we're not getting white, we're still getting black, okay? So all we're going to do is we're going to select our design, and we're going to use the trace tool. So it's over here on the right hand side, excuse me, not the trace tool, we're going to use the offset tool. Down here on the right hand side is a star, has another star around it, that's the offset. So when we select offset, the panel will open and we are just going to click offset. Now that puts another red line outside, that is the offset, and that was what I showed you a minute ago when we didn't have the auto trace on. When we put the offset on that one, that was just the square. So that's why it's really important to make sure you have that box checked in your settings in Silhouette Studio. So now we're done. We can just click apply and we're all done. Now, we need to select this offset and we need to fill it with the same color as the edge of the design. So in this case, it's black. And again, remember, this process in the way we're doing it this way only works when the entire design has the same edge color, black here. I'm going to have another video for how to do it when you have a multicolor image, okay? All right, so we're going to select the offset itself, and we are going to go up to the top toolbar. Oops. We're going to go up to the top here, and we're going to say fill with black. Now you see, the red line that was around the original design is now inside. That has created the bleed. Okay, so this red line here will now be our cut line, and that black area outside, or in this where we're looking above, becomes the bleed area. Okay, so now we need to export this and bring it into Adobe Illustrator. Again, unfortunately, Silhouette Studio can't name the contour cut line the way it needs to be for VersaWorks to recognize it. So we have to hop into Illustrator for just one quick step. So we will go to File, Save As, and we will do Save to Hard Drive. I'm going to save this to my Downloads folder, and I'm going to save it as an SVG. And I'm going to rename this, actually, I see what they did here. And I'm going to name this for AI, just for my own purposes, okay? And I'll click OK. That will save as an SVG. Now, if you don't have the ability to save it as an SVG, it's because you don't have Silhouette Studio Business Edition. You do need that one-time upgrade in order to be able to export as an SVG, PNG, SVG, or PDF. It's $99, one-time flat fee. You can use it on multiple computers. Definitely well worth it, and opens up every feature in Silhouette Studio. It's not a subscription, and you don't need to keep renewing it to get when new features are rolled out, you will automatically get them. You can update your software to get them for free, all right? Okay, so now we're gonna move into Illustrator. So here I have Illustrator. I'm gonna do Open, and I'm gonna find that file. So where is it? Here it is, Senior AI. Okay, so we'll open that. Now, when this opens up, we're gonna have some toolbars on the right-hand side. That's where our layers are going to be. It always gives me this warning, just click OK. So now over here on the right side, I have this layers. I wanna expand them. So the first part, you can see I have two things. I have the original design, that's what says here, this clip. And then I have this thing that says group. The group is the black offset. We do not want to put a contour cut line around that, because then the cut line will still be on the edge of the bleed. We don't want that. We want it inside the bleed. So we actually only want to select the actual image. So I'm going to click the little circle next to it, and you can see now the cut line is selected. It's selected blue right now. We now need to change the color to that cut contour line. So we're going to go in Illustrator to Window, Swatch Libraries, Roland, and my Roland VersaWorks swatches will open, and I will just click that magenta. So now you can see over here that the swatch, the stroke, has been changed to the rolling color that's needed. If I deselect, you'll see it there, okay? And now all I need to do is go to File, Save As, and I'm gonna save this to my computer as a PDF because that is the file type that VersaWorks likes. All right, so I'm gonna change this for VersaWorks, all right? And then all I have to do then is open up in VersaWorks. And what you will see when this file opens in VersaWorks is that we have the little dancing ants for the contour cut line inside that bleed. So when this prints and then cuts, there's going to be a black bleed area around the entire design, and the cut line will be inside of that, and we will totally avoid any chance of a white edge, all right? Okay, now, if you have a multicolored design that does not have the same color edge all around it, I will show you how to create a bleed line and a contour cut line around that. That video is up next, or you can click it at the top and go ahead and get over there. If you are liking our content, if you're liking the Silhouette Studio software tutorials, I don't put many software tutorials on YouTube. However, you can get exclusive content as part of Silhouette U. So you might want to check that out as well. I have a library of 400 exclusive videos and growing every month. And they are very heavily software based. So you can really learn how to use Silhouette Studio for all different types of programs, whether that's layout or nesting or compound paths or text manipulation, lots of different things that you can learn in Silhouette Studio that works for a ton of different machines, equipment, printers, different things like that, okay? All right, you guys, up next is adding the contour cut line to a multicolor image where you want to also add a bleed.